The survey by Angus Reid Institute shows 1/5 of Canadians now see themselves as non-believers, while nearly half say they are spiritually uncertain. Just over 1 in 10 Canadians consider themselves religiously committed, with 1/5 seeing themselves as privately faithful. In general, 1 in 5 Canadians surveyed feel their values and faith are shut out by society, including more than half of evangelical Christians and 1/4 of Muslims.
I think there are some signs in other studies that society is becoming a little more nervous, not necessarily less tolerant, at least not at this stage, but a little more nervous. And this nervousness is something that I see reflected even at the government levels when the issue of religion is put on the table and is being discussed. I see some sort of nervous reactions to it. Partly, I would see that as more an innocent phenomenon, and partly a reflection of the fact that for a long time Canadians didn't have to think about this, and so it was a non-issue for them. And all of a sudden, this has emerged everywhere, and it has become has made a continuous presence. And they are not equipped with the right conceptual tools to put this in some sort of context. And that's why this lack of sort of knowledge, lack of skills, lack of a context, a baseline to compare these with, I guess that creates some sort of nervousness around the more religious groups. The discomfort part is a normal reaction at the beginning. But what can happen is that in the future, down the road, basically that discomfort can fade away when people start interacting with others of these other religious backgrounds, and they get to know them, and then they become a little more relaxed. They realize that there was really no reason to think that these people are different and be nervous about that. But if that interaction doesn't happen, if the society remains segregated and partitioned in terms of religious interaction, interreligious interactions, then all that worries and concern will create more sort of intolerant attitudes and feelings.
So for many Canadians and for generations now, religion has become kind of a strange thing. And we're probably into the second generation where close to a majority of Canadians really have very little firsthand experience with religion. So your perceptions of that are sort of what you're presented with secondarily, either through movies or through the media reports. And what tends to be reported in the media tends to be sort of salacious things, instances of pedophilia, people behaving badly, but you don't have any firsthand connection. So religion does become kind of a strange thing. What you're finding is that the tensions with society are with the groups that participate religiously more often, whether it's evangelicals or Muslims. And these are the groups that are the strangest to society, to Canadian society, because by and large, we do not participate in religious societies, even if we have a religious affiliation with a church or a mosque or synagogue. And so some of the tension is just the strangeness of being unfamiliar with each other.